Hello and welcome back to About the Showdown. It's me, Gonzo. I'm joining here with Jake, who comes fresh from a really interesting live match where we did just see Tino on GP beating Vegapunk from Jaden, which was very close and pretty much up to the last turn. And we are hoping to get another game that's almost as interesting, although the dynamics are going to be very different. This is Teach into Sanji, which, yeah, I don't think I've seen before, but I do have some theories. How are you doing, Jake, and what do you think of what we're going to witness right now?
I'm very good. Now, this is not a matchup I know. Sanji
Mhm.
was one of the decks I was looking at for the new set because it looks like a very unique and fun deck.
Yeah.
Um, I do think the Teach matchup could be a little bit brutal, though.
You think so? I'm actually
I'll have
not that sure.
I'd have to look at Josh's list because I do think if we are running multiple copies of Black Hole,
Hmm.
or then the protection effect of Sanji is just non-existent.
Yeah, that is kind of true. The black hole is gonna be very troublesome, and I guess Tenkos can log one out anyways, but pretty much the whole rest of the deck struggles with it.
We are only on two Tenkos and one black hole, so that may not be as big an issue as we thought.
No, I don't think that's a good match for the lists. And Cruelsor is running some concessions to like other kind of decks, but I do feel like in general, you're not gonna be stopped from doing your game as much in Sanji as pretty much anything else. While there's still some need to use the effect every now and again to stop some searching and Kaya. Maybe early on it's worth getting it down just to like um I guess hinder the early plan if they rely on a pudding or a kaya to kind of get going. But I don't think Teach can reliably keep doing so, and Sanji has
I,
plenty of ways to push ahead.
I don't think there's a reliably enough on plays for it to be very worth it. However, I have noticed that Quotal's running the Josus, which I hadn't seen much of before. And of
Mm-hmm.
course, I don't
Dear
think
Luffy.
yeah, we've got the one-off Beer Luffy, which
Mm-hmm.
running. I mean, it can be a very good powerful piece late game in this deck, but he can't quite escape that shadow of running it from Purple Black Luffy.
Yeah, that's kind of true. I do feel like it's a concession to other decks, right? Like basically, if you manage to play that in this deck into like really and then have done for Giant, you're basically not dying that turn. And they need to deal with it somehow, which is not that easy. I guess Mulligan is an option, but you do get to bounce things for free with it on -1, so it can make things a bit awkward to actually get there as well. And then just in general, I guess, even for Sorrow, when you swing 8 at two things, if both of them are 7k, you don't really get that much value of your leader ability. So it's an interesting card. It makes the deck stupidly tanky, even though you might not need to. And given that you run at least two Radical Beam or above events, it's yeah, no, it's fairly respectable. Um, okay,
Yeah,
so we
pretty
go on.
standardized. We've got the Chump Blocker and Booth Burst just to dig through the deck and get through those events. And
Yeah,
we've got the classic stage into Burgess on foreplay from Teach.
yeah,
And I do think
that's
Burgess will be very problematic for Sanji because,
mhm.
well, Burgess just scales up a lot faster than the three cost Sanjis.
Yeah, it is kind of like unfair how much better at this game Burgess is than Sanji, but also Burgess is not immune to like bottom decking. He's
Yep.
not immune to
Yep.
bouncing, and Sanji is.
And
So I
we've
guess it's
got one
a
of those
fair
on
trade-off.
decking right there. The
Hmm.
new Jet Culverine.
Yeah, that's the card I actually really like. It does give a lot of flexibility to the deck, and being just 3 cost allows you to do it both from leader ability or just on your own. And base cost means that there's no shenanigans to be done there. And yeah, it's kind of a super clean answer to that Barges plan that Josh has been enabling. So we're gonna have to do something slightly differently from Josh's perspective to kind of move. And yeah, there we go.
And there we go. We
Covering.
straight away taking back the board.
Yeah. And it's kind of interesting as well, right? Because there's no development for Josh at this point, and obviously you're not necessarily going to be doing leader ability because it would make sense to kind of ignore that part of the plan in this matchup. But then if there's a Josu, you're going to get hard punished with that one cost champ blocker over there, just bouncing back to hand. So yeah, I feel like if Cruiser has an easier and more predictable way to deal with Josh's decklist than the other way around.
Yeah, because we are running two 3,000 worlds, two Culverins, so those Burgess will not likely stick around for long, especially with how much search we do have on Corsal's side.
Yeah,
And we do have
it's
that Sanji coming out down nice and early.
yeah, it's 100% gonna be kind of more complicated to navigate, but we will see. Ooh, we see Sanji number one showing up. Okay, okay. In which direction can Josh steer from this
He's
point?
gonna be digging deep with this uh, Tempest kick.
Yes.
Interesting that he chose to Tempest kick before chose deactivating stage. Maybe
Yeah.
he's got quite the hand he's quite happy with and not wanting to discard anything.
Yeah. Yeah. And now Cruel Store is just like getting counter value out of that 1K blocker, which is fully respectable too. Half five
Any
left.
any KO will just get rid of it. Uh, oh,
Yeah,
there's
and
the card.
it gets super free value off of Tokyo as well. So yeah, pickles at the
There
ball.
we go. Adding the dock queue. Because
Yeah,
observation pack, he knew it was going to be coming.
yeah,
And we like this, just setting up Kuzan to start getting some a very safe play and keeping your options nice and open for next turn.
yeah. Ooh, you're gonna need some open options there as well, and we reach the buffing them by one part of the equation while drawing a very large amount of cards too. It does feel like Closer's game is going and his according to the plan he should be following for this.
Yep, building up for Sanji's building up trash. He's still got quite a healthy amount of hand as well.
Tap up resources like Kusan is problematic in the sense that it basically lets you not lose hand size, which is not
You
where you want to
see
be.
new Rage coming down, which is a very, very good card.
Yeah, that is great. Basically, we got a 4/5 blocker. Then, if you have 5 events in trash, that gains plus 5 cost, so it's a 9 cost. That's 2k attack. So it's
Plus five
basically
cost.
a 7k blocker with 9 cost, which is going to be extremely tough to remove
That
for
is not
Josh.
going to be removed very easily.
Mm-mm. Okay, more Vargas plan kind of
Especially
carry on.
because, as we mentioned before, we've only got one black hole in the list, which would normally be the only really way we can remove that by turning the +5 off and then killing it.
Yeah. But then you also need to get rid of those Sanjis with the black hole, so there's going to be a lot of competition going on there.
A lot of things to hit and not a lot of things to hit them with.
No, we easily take that free block because if we do want to commit a big swing into Reiju, that's going to basically hinder Josh's stone. And he very correctly decides to just tax hand size instead. There we go. Champ blocker number 2.
I'm going to see this going to the Sam one. Again, another card which will suffer from the covering, but we have already seen one covering out.
Yeah. And 7th, who's
We are
gonna
just
force
going to
Don -1.
force
Yeah.
it on.
hmm Yeah, I
Putting,
guess.
Throw Caribou out just in case Frozone does decide to swing big at the Teach.
Yeah, that does make some sense. I feel like in this specific matchup, weirdly enough, the on-play Sorab would be quite decent because it's one of the decks that will force you to at least constantly don minus to keep those Sanjis around.
Yeah.
So getting to recover the Dawn and cycle the card would be great, even though normally on plays are terrible into Blackbeard just because they cannot really like pitch card every turn against you. So you're gonna get some amazing value off of your on plays.
Ooh, we are
Ooh.
seeing the Bruchette blow.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how do I rebrand Gamma Knife to meet this theme of the deck? But yeah, basically minus 3,000 and draw a card if you have the same amount of Dawn or less than your opponent.
This is gonna make this. I'm assuming this is on the teacher. Yeah, we did dice on there.
Mhm.
This is gonna make that teach fall down quite easy.
Yeah, yeah. I'd even venture that it's gonna just die to the first swing. Where's that going?
Likely is that the teacher.
Okay,
Yeah, we are just gonna let this teach die. We are gonna get the teach effect off.
that is
I
fair
think he's
enough.
added the teach with the teach. Yeah, just
Yeah,
adding
he's
it
just
straight
looting
back to
it.
hand.
Yeah, it makes total sense.
Oh, very much like adding having the red rock ready in hand from Krozer here.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, the Tenko's loop plan is falling apart as well.
this does seem very bad situation for Josh now as Crozer's board is slowly stacking up.
Yeah, and those Sanjis are going sideways as well. I guess it's fine because swinging like somewhat relevantly into those Sanjis effectively just means that one, if there's a gum gum situation, you're those are already seven, so you're
Oh,
covered.
well, we are seeing the third Sanji being played here.
Yeah. And two, if you want to remove one of them, you're gonna need to at least put three dons on lead, if not more. So that means you don't get to play 10 cost each, and likely you won't be able to play that 7 cost either comfortably.
They'll be able to swing over any of them here, really, because we've got one Don left up.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see.
They could be either the Gum Gum Giant or the new Conquessor. I do apologize for the French.
I do feel like the Sanji cards are a bit difficult to pronounce properly. It's not the easiest deck to commentate on just because we do need to work on our French pronunciation skills in general, which is kind of funny. Like between beef burst or boy burst or whatever it's called and concassé, it's it's making me feel very self-conscious about my commentary. So I do apologize for that, but we'll get better as the season goes along. I promise.
The only good thing about it is, unlike some of these events have got shorter names than, for say, the zero cost event, green zero cost event.
Hmm. Yeah, it's a bit easier.
Apart from the one cost searcher, which we've now got, which is terribly long as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. DMG. I'm just gonna call that DMG. I refuse to use the full name, but basically
Oh, the
ends on
new
deadly sins. Oh, the new one.
one cost purple for Sanji.
Oh yeah.
Luffy is the man who will become the Pirate King.
Yeah. I guess you can call this Pirate King, King of the
Yep.
Pirates to be specific. But yeah, and we do have the same on Sorrow, but it's three cost, and that's a completely different thing, which is gonna make things extra confusing.
So we are seeing the removal of the blocker here uh, with the Black Vortex. Not Black Vortex, Black Hole. But this, we are seeing the Qzone as well, but facing down to three Sanjis, which are all 7Ks. looking like a tight spot. I'm wondering if Joshua is just trying to force down the life for a potential Hail Mary lethal.
It's possible. Like I don't think playing defensive is really gonna work out easily. So
No,
there we go.
especially when we know the Sanji deck does run a lot of um, defensive events. Fortunately, Landy's on plays does open us up to this double searcher.
Yeah. And with this, find the cycler followed by
I'm gonna play another
Ragey.
Rager.
Yeah, we're Vinsmoke traveling right now, and that on -1 is gonna let us draw 2 cards more.
We are at a very healthy hand size. We've got 2 life and a blocker while
Yep.
slowly poking them down.
Mhm. And now it's gonna be a rush of sevens.
I wonder if we do ever just try and sneak in an 8 onto the Sandman here. But I guess we depend on that, seeing how these first swings go. Did look like we
Oh,
had a trigger there, but
yeah.
we're choosing not to use it. Potentially, trying to think what triggers we do run in this deck. Potentially
Uh,
the Black Vortex or Tempest Kick.
it's yeah. I think it's basically Tempest Kick that could only KO the pudding, right? Oh well, could
or
KO the
or
Sanji and
minus a Don at least. But at this point, the minus would cause all that too much Don for a minus Don to really impact flow of the game.
yeah. Okay, this is looking a bit like the end game of the situation. Just really needs to both apply pressure and somehow survive, which is a very questionable plan.
I guess one of the easier ways to do that would be to just try and drop a 10 drop. But even if he does do that, we are
Mhm.
not looking great for surviving with such a wide board.
And we do know about Red Rock, right? So
Yeah, which would just
yeah, I
instantly
guess
play it down.
yeah, I guess 10 drop into remove like locking the rage so you can squeeze into one, two swings would probably be all right. But okay, yep, that's game.
We are just scooping here.
Yeah, yeah, that is a very smart use of time. And ooh, that did feel a bit brutal. I'm not too sure I disagreed with any of Josh's plays either. It doesn't really feel like he did have the tools to deal with triple Sanji.
Yep.
And
And it felt like that just immediately getting rid of that Burgess early just didn't allow any tempo from Teach.
yeah, that does make some sense. Chat is letting us know that George is showing the hand a bit too much, which it's a fair point. But I don't think closers like capitalizing on that tactical opportunity either, and we could make some value of it for for commentary. So we will try and pay more attention ourselves as well.
Josh does
But
openly say that his biggest enemy is webcam gaming.
yeah, yeah. No, he's trying to beat his nemesis that happens to be this format. But yeah, I think he'll get the hang of it as we go. And
I
definitely
do
we
feel his pain. So I know I'm not particularly great at the webcam setups either.
yeah, I know what you mean. Like before getting started with this project, I actually kind of dreaded a lot running online regionals and never really wanted to go through a full one. But since we started, I grown to like the format a bit more. You do get used to it a lot. Every player we've had over here are amazing, which does help get the practice on a lot. And I'm actually kind of salty that we got the online regionals removed now that I was fully confident to run one or two. So
Yeah, it's something I very much miss over here.
mhm. Yeah, It is what it is. I'm hoping that we will get some compensation or something. But at the very least, we did get a big increase on offline ones, so it's been quite fun to go through the rounds. It's just fairly expensive, I suppose. And all right, so we
Not
are.
seeing a turn one Dom play from Josh here, which is a bit unfortunate. No stage, no setting up the feet.
Yeah, and he did keep the hand as well, so there is that.
Must be something which he likes.
Yep. Okay, 7. I do like this. I feel like it's important to always pressure for life leaders into going down to 3. Like, a lot of people don't really do this into draw heavy decks like Sanji or Reyu back before this format, I
No,
suppose.
it does feel like there's is some opportunities with Sanji to poke
Hmm.
because a lot of their defense does come from leaving Don open, and if they're forced to leave Don open for defense, then they're not
Yeah,
getting rid of your
developing.
board. They're not developing.
Yeah, that makes sense. So I feel like it's quite key to get them down to 2 life early so you can then punish a bit harder. And Cruiser does see the Sanji once more, followed by
Harder
Akaya.
make
Fan
advantage of
favorite?
these no no leader apart from Teach. Just to use Kaya just to get our trash up and dig through into our core pieces.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of what I feel like maybe Hitch has an angle early on to maybe possibly
I think
lock the
it's such
searcher
a
play.
gamble because Sanji can so easily play without on plays.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. But I feel like they're looking for the 3 course, right? So sometimes if you're going, probably if you're going first before the second turn, the most powerful play they can do is actually like searcher into Kaya or the other way around, and then you have the whole hand set up. And from that point on, you're playing your game. If you don't get to do that, at least you get a bit of breathing room, I suppose. It might not be worth it at all, but I feel like if you're gonna do it at any point, it's likely one of the early turns, just to like play around the consistency a bit, I suppose. And yeah, it's kind of rough because it's 50% searchers and drawers are um, on plays. The other 50 are events, so yeah, probably the angle is just not to leader ability ever, which is not a great spot to be on a Stitch.
No, this no stage here I think is particularly annoying
Yeah.
because we're not digging through this deck. We're not building up our trash. So even if we do eventually want to be playing Burgesses, we don't have it. We don't actually even have a we don't actually have a drop for Guzan, which
Yeah.
I'm sure can be remedied very easily from countering. But it is a bit of a weird spot to see Teach with no trash.
Yeah. And also, like, now swinging a 7 from leader ability, if you don't develop another Sanji or if you just like don't -1, it puts Josh in a weird position because you kind of want to give both the cards, but you also kind of don't want to. So, like, there are some weird lines to be followed now.
I think we
Yeah.
do probably always put a bit of pressure on though, just because I
Yeah.
Causal may not know
There we
uh,
go.
what list Josh is running, but the end game of spamming teachers is always a threat.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess my point was more around right now. A 5 just gives an opportunity to like counter with Barges or with Van Ager, right? While if you go a 7, you're also demanding one of the 2Ks, which can punish a bit harder. But I guess if you do get to play another Sanji, that's always the preferred option. Yeah, friendly reminder to everyone. I know you did this previous game, and I do appreciate it. We are on a rush to try and get to 1,000 followers on YouTube, so we can do a nice giveaway. So if you haven't checked out our channel and you're missing some of the VODs, just go there. We upload very regularly, 9 videos a week, which is basically the commentary we do over these games, just split up and slightly edited. And we are very, very grateful for everyone supporting us. So if you can go there and give it a go or share with your friends, we are super, super happy to do so. But back to the game, we're seeing some late-ish Lafitte search, um, which is probably not where you want to be as Josh. And now we might see leader ability usage just to be able to,
just to get get a target in there.
yeah. Yeah, there we go.
Yep, we are.
So we're effectively cycling that barges. Um, Trash the barges, sack the crew, and draw the card.
Just, I'm not sure how common it is, but with knowledge that Krolzor is on Jozu, I don't actually hate the leader power just in general for this turn.
No, and
We
it's
did
also
we did
like,
knowledge of it earlier by trashing one.
yeah, I was just gonna point that out that actually Crosser showed it, and it's like, I'm not sure how much I agree with showing it, but I guess now there's an extra question mark in Joseph's gameplay where like he does know that there's at least one Josu on the list, so now he might need to consider some pivotal turns where this happens. But Culverin and the beef are a good way to deal with barges as well. So suppose that that's the trick. Chat is pointing out that Reiju and Sanji play very differently, but they have a very similar matchup spread, with the main exception being our big um, Dark Emperor, who happens to be horrible for Reiju, but it doesn't seem to be horrible at all for Sanji.
What do you mean? Rene was telling me just how much he loved playing against the teacher as Reiju.
Yeah, I know. He kept bragging about it in the Berlin regionals. Like, very, very good run. Um,
No comment.
no comments. All right.
So we seem to have taken a lot of life early here as Teach, um, which is scary because these Sanjis are only ever gonna get bigger and bigger.
Yeah, I think the second they hit sevens, that life taking is gonna start being very terrifying.
It,
And
there is such a jump from a 6 to a 7.
mhm, we're kind of on the same spot again, right? Where we don't really have a good target for the Kusan. Like, we do have a San Juan, which is
Even this
okay.
someone can just get very easily bomb decked with the
Yeah,
Jet
covering.
Wolverine.
Yeah, so we do get that. Oh, this is actually making me want to play the Sanji deck a bit more.
It
I
is
need
a
to be.
very unique deck.
hmm And it's a consistent and draw more cards deck as well, which kind of hinders the tempo more than control. So I guess it's a different approach to Reiju. It feels like a slightly slower, like Reiju approach to the game, with
It's certainly more
obviously
of a
different
slow
ways to
burn.
punish. hmm Okay, there we go.
On paper, it doesn't look like we're doing too much, but then it just the tankiness with the unremovable Sanjis just does slowly build up.
It's leader ability again.
We're not risking using the teach leader power just to get the Dom minus here. Probably we are scared, a bit traumatized from that last game of the
Oh yeah, 100%.
not Gamma Knife.
Yeah, yeah. Let me actually try and pronounce some names in here. So this is the brochette blow.
Not too
Um,
bad, that one.
yeah, this one's easier. This one's easier. I definitely
There we
like it a
go. We're
lot better.
seeing the Colburn straight off of about there, immediately reducing the defense we've got here.
That's ugh.
Being down to only 2 life, I'm going to have to start countering these, especially if we are going to see any follow up Reju's.
Yeah,
Just
Regius
pulls off.
not made an appearance quite yet, but that will be definitely a role. Basically a role player in the matchup. But it feels like that free block every turn. It's super costly and it's almost
uh,
impossible to remove.
Crows are opting just to spam through several events all in one go there, uh, just to get these Sanjis up to our 7K mark.
Yeah, that's track. Ooh, welcome to chat, Super. Good to have you over here. There's a chat is quite active actually today. I'm happy to hear that. It's always nice when we got a bit of community. All right, there's
I
the
do
radio we
agree.
mentioned before.
There are
That's
too many sexy players around here.
oh no. Um, yeah, yeah, no, definitely. We have a lot of really good playing and good looking individuals in the league. It's one more reason to check it out. But oof, I'm not sure there are many avenues to kind of get out of this. I do like that this time Josh has managed to get closer down to 2 life, even though now we have that blocker to deal with.
However, we don't really have a board to deal to capitalize on this.
No, no. But teach maybe freeze the blocker. Yep. And now just swing twice.
Just wants to flex before he dies with that manga.
That's it. So, ooh,
We are gonna get him down to one here. Um,
yeah,
it does maybe indicate that Kozo doesn't have the giant because gianting an 8K swing while on 10 Don would be very nice value.
kind of interesting that we are pitching for leader ability again. I guess we could be playing around some of the scarier um 10 drops, maybe something like the Rush Luffy in this scenario.
I would be curious what we're specifically trying to force stop here. And oh, there's the red rock straight off the bat.
Yep. And there goes the plan. Oh
And
no.
oh, we are just gonna slowly kill out Joshua here,
Yeah, that's
opting to clear board and take away any chance of losing on a clapback.
yeah. It's also kind of funny, right? Because basically using that effect, even if we don't go for that teach on board, it does mean that if we over counter to survive the leader, to get the leader to survive, basically that teach is exactly the same, right?
Yeah,
So
it
we
does
could
seem to
generally just
go
go 7-7 live and then 5 into it, or 7 into it with leader, and we will be
almost just
chilling.
test to see if Josh is bricked up.
Yep.
We are gonna respect it and just play it slow and steady. Does feel very weird not to be seeing the reveal off of this Sanji event, especially when we're getting into these Div 1 games. Knowledge is very key in these matchups.
Yep. There we go. 2 more cards off of hand. And Ryu's back into being active. So, uh,
Yeah, with 3 cards in hand, there's not a lot Josh could potentially do to get out of this one.
no, I feel like maybe
We are just
if we,
dropping a second manga teach.
I'm going 5. Refreezing Ryu, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
And we're leader ability in again.
is this a second red rock? Oh, this is the second
God,
red rock.
that is unnecessary, to be honest.
It is
That is
unnecessary
just
because we do
mean.
just have the swings on board to get round a blocker,
And
but
that's
it certainly
game.
wins in
Ooh.
style.
Yeah, no, definitely. Cruz all got all the style points today. That was kind of a beating.
That match
Yeah.
was a lot more polarizing than I initially thought.
Mhm. Yeah, I should be happy that Teach has a matchup that's as bad as he was for Ryu, but this doesn't feel great either. That was genuinely some really difficult to deal with approaches to the whole game plan. Like, I feel like this game maybe it might actually be showing that you need to follow the same plan with teaching to Sanji as you need to do with Reiju into teaching, just like hard mulligan for stage to kind
Yes,
of keep
it could
going
be a
because we
way.
did not see any business, unfortunately, for Josh, and that made things very very complicated. Like I feel like Lafitte doesn't do enough work because he's not gonna survive. So you do need that stage to be there pretty much 100%. So there is that, but still, they
Coles
were
are
quite
really showing
interesting.
off what these new decks can do.
100%. And, if you guys have a minute and you haven't given him a follow in YouTube either, you don't only need to follow us on YouTube. Please go and check Rolser's channel. He does amazing content, and you will be able to see some great stuff for UP Sanji as well as his classic BP Luffy. So, yeah, I heavily encourage support our players the same ways you support us. And don't worry, this is not the last game of today. We're going to be right back. We're just going to take a short break and we will have some more amazing gameplay that we're just gonna get the deck list ready for right now. And our game 3 will have Rayleigh playing into I don't remember. So give
GP
me just one
Luffy.
second to check it out. Ooh, GP Luffy. Great,
Rail
amazing.
Zero on GP Luffy.
Yep. Ooh, it's her time. So yeah, don't look away, don't blink. We will be right back.